Greetings, dear friends, from La Hacienda, the home of the Spanish Fort Dons, as tonight they take on the Uintah Utes. I am Alan Huff along with Chris Hurst, ready to watch this game of the Dons looking for their first region win. They're 0-2 in region play, but Uintah's 0 forever in the season, have not won a single game, including the preseason, Chris. Let us quickly thank our sponsors for tonight's game: Tony Basso Auto Group, Lance Wilson, State Farm Insurance, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, Two Jacks Pizza, McKell, Christiansen Wise, and our friends at Dickerson Automotive. Chris, this Uintah team, and we've declared it already, the Dons don't win this one, I don't know if we're going to make it out of this gym alive.
I don't know if we'll make it out of this gym alive, because we'll be in shock from a possible heart attack. No. You never know in these games, though. Both teams are 0-2 in the region. Uintah hasn't won a game, but they've been close a couple times, so Spanish Force definitely got to come out and take this team serious.
The Dons lost to Lehigh by 12 at Lehigh the other night. The Utes played Orem, and unfortunately came out the loser in that game, 70-30.
Got doubled up, and that's never good. So
go ahead.
I was going to say the other unfortunate thing for Uintah is it's not exactly like this region game is very close. They have to drive approximately 3 hours to get here.
Yeah, it's no fun, especially when you're on a losing streak this large. Some of the keys of the game as we get ready for tonight's game. You get those up there. The Dons need to not play down to the opponent, and that is what the Utes really need them to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously dominate the boards. There is some size to this Uintah team. They have one player out there, I believe his name is Hunter Severe, stands at 6'10". He's not a starter, but he's one of the other guys to watch as the Dons turn it over on the first possession. It's Caden Watkins with the ball.
Severe averages 11 points a game, and he's their big scorer.
Yeah.
And Brett Christensen, who just had the air ball, he's their second leading scorer, and after that it really drops off.
Yeah. 2 and 3 point per game average scores as Congdon wide open knocks down the three. So Brandon Congdon starts the scoring. Bridger Knowles on a point here against Lehigh. He ended up at the end of the game with 37 points for Spanish Fort.
And I like how they've switched things up here. They're playing a little press defense here after that make.
Matt Mattinson with the ball. Gives it up right side to Kyler Murray, and they're playing catch back and forth around the perimeter. Mattinson, turn around, no, rebound, Spanish Fort. Dons in possession, wanting to put the game away early.
Yeah, if you can get some of these younger guys some experience, that would be great.
Duval, Knowles, foul, bucket doesn't go. So he'll get 2 shots, but the Dons looking solid early on in their first couple of possessions.
Yeah, great entry pass by Duval into Knowles that time, and I think Knowles got fouled down, but they're going to let him shoot 2 here.
Yeah.
Not complaining, just stating what I saw.
Yeah, well, is what it is, huh? I would have to agree with you, but the more freebies, the better. Knocks down the first of 2. Also on the floor, Tanner Olson, Ryler Jensen, Brandon Congdon, obviously, and Parker Duval. For Spanish Fort, as the Dons again applying that pressure. Uintah with it, left side, Matt Mattinson open for 3. Misses, rebound, back to the Utes. And Kyler Lawson, who gets it quickly to Kyler Murray.
Yeah,
and they're not seeing much size out there here early on, Chris.
Yeah, Uintah, I mean, there's a lot of holes in this defense, but they just seem a little tentative.
3 ball on its way, the bucket good. Caden Watkins, the first bucket goes for the Uintah Utes.
I like the aggressive approach Spanish Fort's taking on the defensive side. We'll see. I imagine they'll just try and get the ball into Knowles, work it inside out all night long.
The size differential currently on the floor gives Knowles the huge advantage. A 3 ball on the way, no good. The attempt there by Bryler Jensen.
Jensen was way deep that time. I don't know if that's the shot Spanish Fort wanted, but when it goes down, it sure does feel good.
5-3 Dons lead. 5:44 remaining here in the first quarter. Right side, Kyler Lawson. Pull-up jumper, misses. Rebound to the Dons. Brandon Congdon finds Bridger Knowles, taking it to the rack, misses. Ooh. Rebound to the Utes.
That's a rare miss. I bet inside that, underneath the hoop. The shooting percentage for Knowles as we have a timeout here has got to be very high.
Yeah, especially in a game like tonight. The Dons now get a quick rest. 30-second timeout taken by the Utes. We want to thank one of our sponsors for tonight's game, MVP Sports. Will sponsor tonight's MVP of the game. 72 North Main in Spanish Fork. 798-3587 is the number we can reach on MVPSportsUtah.com. If you don't know anything about MVP Sports, you're not into sports, so disregard that.
Whoa. They are watching the broadcast, so just check them out.
If you're interested, I'm going to tell you another thing. T-shirts, family reunions, all that stuff. Hey, you know, you can get anything at MVP if it comes to customized apparel. So, with 5:28 left on the ticker, we're only 2.5 minutes in, and a quick timeout by the Utes as they bring the ball back into play. Caden Watkins with the ball out front. Right side to Kyler Lawson, and again, the Utes going to have to work that perimeter to try to find something underneath.
And
in the game is Alex Foster for Uintah as he tips it away and gets a rebound off the bench for the Utes.
And the Spanish Fork switched to man-to-man defense here, and a couple of their guys have just gotten blown by.
3-ball on its way, no good, and a rebound by Brandon Congdon.
A great hustle rebound by Congdon that time.
Nice pass underneath to Knowles, kicks it back out. Congdon open 3-ball, drained it. That's his second 3 of the game, and the Dons with an 8-3 lead.
And that's huge. When Congdon plays well, this team usually wins. I mean, it's a kind of two guys that score a lot of points, and when both of those guys can get up around 20, Spanish Fork usually wins those games.
Yeah, one or both. Usually that's what the outcome is. And it's like they're on their way. The two scorers in tonight's game are Knowles and Congdon, as a pass by Duvall unsuccessful. Finds Knowles, count it, he's fouled. Bridger Knowles with his first bucket of the game, and he was about to attempt his third free throw of the game. He's 2 for 2.
Yeah, great job by Duvall with his persistence to get that pass in there, and he'll get the assist on that play as well.
So the Dons have the 7-point lead, looking to make it 8. Free throw on the way, good. Bridger's been practicing free throws, apparently. Struggled against Salem Hills.
That was a very intense environment, though. It was hard to play there.
Well, and you see that, I mean, the crowd they brought in for that game, the bucket missed, rebound, Foster. But the crowd they brought in, I mean, it makes this look like a two-way school. Where is everyone?
Yeah, it was an awesome crowd, and, you know, maybe it's just when Salem Hills comes here, I imagine this place will fill up. But tonight, not so much.
Oh, it's like a non-region game.
And it's hard when you play teams like Uintah, because in some of the, some of the kids that go to Salem Hills, Maple Mountain, Springville, you really don't know the kids that go to Uintah that well.
Knowles, 7 points for him. Brandon Congdon with 6. That equates to all the Dons' points.
Spanish Fork with a double-digit lead.
And a steal. Tanner Olson, baseline jumper up, missed. Rebound, Congdon had it, can't come up with it.
Great rebound by Uintah's number 22, Matt Mattinson. He didn't look like he belonged down there, but he showed he did.
Yeah. Approaching the 3-to-go mark, the Dons with a 10-point lead as Foster around the free throw line, missed. Rebound to the Dons. Knowles into the paint. He's fouled Mega. And he's going to the line for 2 shots. I don't know where the argument's coming from, but there's...
Foster mugs him and then he's like, where's the foul?
He's up with that foul. It's his first 3 team fouls on Uintah. Dons with a goose egg as far as team fouls are concerned. First of 2 goes.
That's actually Foster's second. He's checking out of this ball game.
Quickly out of the ball game. Into it, Max Catton. Along with number 1, Logan Timothy. Second, good. Look at that, Bridger. 5 for 5.
5 for 5, and wow, they could have used that last Friday, but they'll take it tonight. And pressure's causing Uintah to struggle to get the ball up the court.
You know what? You can see the disgust on the face of head coach Brandon Johnson of Uintah. He's just frustrated right now. It's like one of those off basketball years. Your talent level's not quite what you'd like it to be, and you just don't seem.
Yeah.
Seemed like they've got everything together there. Didn't seem like they had much together with those passes. Spanish Fork.
That was a interesting offensive possession. I think Duvall was in the paint for about 7 seconds.
Yeah.
That wasn't called, and the ball movement by the Dons wasn't great. But man, they got a 12-point lead, and you can't complain about that for sure.
No.
That's the thing about basketball is you have so many possessions that you're going to have a few bad ones here and there.
They occur.
Especially when I'm on the court.
Oh, yes, me too. Me as well. Work that perimeter. Catton for 3. No, rebound Dogs.
That's got to be a foul on
There'll be
Uintah.
a foul on Uintah Utes. Appears it will be on Logan Timothy. Get that right.
Yeah.
Dons will bring in Parker Swenson along with, I believe, Aaron Scott. Yes.
And Spanish Fork's been playing a lot of press tonight, something we don't usually see from them. So they're going to have to go a little bit deeper in their bench because that is exhausting.
I think the Dons are probably going to see a lot of new faces on the floor tonight we may not be used to seeing, as Knowles keeps fighting for it, getting it.
There.
He's getting
Holy
fouled
cow.
all over the place.
They're going to call a charge.
They
maybe.
better not, because he was in the air. It's on the floor. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here's a big man. Listed. Jackson Giles coming in. He's not that big, I guess. I thought we were going to be seeing Hunter Severe, but I don't see him anywhere, Chris.
Yeah, that's their leading scorer, and Uintah really seems to be struggling to find baskets. They've only scored 3 points here.
Well, if you're your leading scorer, I don't even believe he's in the gym. So you wonder if he's suffered an injury. You'd hope not for a team that's struggling. Congdon open 3. Go, rebound, Swenson. Back to Brandon. Scott, left side.
Yeah, great job by the Dons crashing the board there.
Parker Swenson going back up top. Aaron Scott to Bridger Knowles. He could have fired one up there. Brings it in. Misses. Rebound. Knowles trying to get it. Ball all over the place. No calls.
Bodies on the floor everywhere and no whistles. Yeah, they were calling it really tight to start with, and now they're just letting them play.
Yeah, except for there, Congdon mugs number 30, Kyler Murray. That'll be the first Dons foul. And obviously the first on Brandon Congdon.
Yeah, it's a 5-to-1 foul ratio, but Spanish Fork's getting the ball inside the Bridger Knowles, and he's getting hammered.
3 ball goes for Max Catton for Uintah. Second bucket of the game, obviously both 3 balls. Don's looking, could have had an open shot with Adam Scott, didn't get it down to him. He got a whistle off the ball, and that will go against the Dons.
I didn't see that. I was watching the ball, but obviously something happened. Did you see that one?
I didn't see it, but Parker Swenson picks it up, his first. Team foul number 2 for the Dons. And Uintah struggling to find any work underneath.
Yeah. Hey, credit Spanish Fork. They're going zone sometimes. This time they're going man-to-man. They've done a great job of switching up their defense.
Wow, I mean, Congdon to the rack. He was fouled, but the bucket goes. He's got 8. And the Dons conclude the first quarter with an 11-point lead. 17-6. We'll be right back.
Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your... Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Well, I love it.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Well, I love it.
That's why we're there with renter's insurance when things go wrong, but also here with a rewards credit card.
Call State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Christiansen, and Wise.
Again, let's thank our sponsors for tonight's game. Tony Basso Auto Group, along with Dickerson Automotive, Lance Wilson, State Farm Insurance, McKell, Christiansen, Wise, Attorneys at Law, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, MVP Sports, and 2 Jacks Pizza for being part of tonight's contest. As the Uintah Utes with the ball to begin quarter number 2, trailing by 11 at 17-6. Only 4 players on the floor, and that includes Spanish Fork, have put points on the board. Yeah. 2 for the Dons, 2 for the Utes.
It was all Bridger, Knowles, and Congdon in that first quarter.
Back and forth the call. And Spanish Fork will get the ball back. We were discussing a little bit how Hunter Sevier has not been in the ball game for Uintah.
Yeah, and he was the leading scorer. The next one's Brett Christensen, number 5 for Uintah. He's not in the ball game either.
No, not right now. On the floor jump ball.
He started the game, but he hasn't been in it, or he's not in it right now.
Yeah, and he hasn't scored. And it appears, Chris, that Sevier has been out at least one game. He did not score anything against Orem.
Okay.
And he did score 24 in the game before, so I'm assuming he has suffered an injury. Bucket and the foul. Parker Swenson will go to the line for another free throw for the Dons.
Yeah, and he just earned his manhood because that was a man-like move there by Swenson.
Was. He'll go to the line for one, and into the game, Caden Watkins along with Matt Mattinson for the Utes. Brett, who was it we were talking about before? The other score, Brett Christensen?
Brett Christensen.
Not seeing a ton of him, and the Dons' first missed free throw occurs here in the second.
Yeah, he's down on the bench. He started the game, but he's not in it. And another Uintah turnover.
Tanner Olson, pickpocket. Duval to the hoop. Kicks it back out. Congdon. Swenson. Back to Brandon Congdon. 3. No. Got the rebound. Underneath. Olson got it. So the Dons starting to include some other players. Tanner Olson's first bucket of the game, and the Dons on the 15-point lead.
Yeah, no look past that time by Congdon, and fooled everybody on Uintah's team. An easy bucket there for Olson.
Left side, 3 ball on its way. Got it. Threes how they're going to live as Logan Timothy knocks it down. And on the other end, the bucket for Bryler Jensen.
Way to hustle down court, and Bryler Jensen takes advantage of Uintah getting back slow. But Spanish Fork's got to guard that far side corner. That's where all the threes have come from for Uintah.
Shot missed. And the ball will go back to Uintah as nothing has happened inside the arc for the Uintah Utes.
Yeah.
Nothing. 0.
They have got all 9 of their points off 3 shots. That's
and all the fouls the Dons have committed have been perimeter fouls.
Yeah.
So that should tell you a little something about what the Utes lack at this point. What do we have?
We got a foul before.
We do, and that should go against Parker Duval.
Yeah, but if you look at how Uintah is playing, they're lining up 4 guys around the 3-point line. And
I lied. That foul will go to Sage Olson, and that will be his first. 13th foul for the Dons. Let's thank the Car Guys. How about that? They sponsor tonight's Instant replays. Located at 872. I called them the car guys.
Yeah.
They're still the car guys to me, and it's difficult to get out of that. But they are now Tony Basso Auto Group. 872 North Main, Spanish Fort, 794-0077. Go to the carguysut.net. I assume that might still be their website.
Well, I'll check it out and let you know.
All right. Well, most of these vehicles are still under factory warranties, pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. For everybody in the Spanish Fork area, shop at the Car Guys for a great deal. You're going to find the same friendly faces as were there when it was the Car Guys.
And the website, it still is the Car Guys.
Yeah, you can go to the carguysut.net. It'll just redirect you to Tony Basso
I think it's still
Auto
just the
Group's
site,
website.
Yeah.
So there we go.
They got a nice Camaro there, 28,000 miles. I want to take that baby home.
There you go. Shut up and good. We finally got some paint points. And that one by Jackson Giles.
And Uintah coming back a little bit in this game, but Bridger Knowles has been on the bench.
Don still attacking underneath, though. Parker Swenson kind of taking those reins over as Knowles coming back in. The ball just picked off by Jensen. Olsen fouled. He'll get two, and the foul committed by Matt Mattinson.
Yeah, and Olsen's getting open in the paint, and they're finding him. And not the biggest guy, but when you get that good a position, you can score. I mean, they list him at 5'11". Not a usual spot for a guy his size.
He's a point guard. He's a point center tonight. Free throw good.
Knowles is back into the game here.
Yeah, they'll take the place of the other inside scorer for tonight, Parker Swenson. One more for Tanner Olsen. Missed that one. Rebound to the Utes. 26-11 Dogs. Again, from behind, Tanner Olsen pickpockets. Layup, good. I think that guy got a piece of it too. A little bit.
Great job, concentration by Olsen to just stay with that shot.
5 points for Tanner Olsen. Don's biggest lead of the game at 17.
How is that not a travel? Anyways, it looks like we might have a jump ball or a foul.
It's going to be a jump. And the possession arrow will go to, I believe, the Dons.
Maybe I'm seeing things, but I thought Jackson Giles might have shuffled his feet there for a second.
Yeah. The ball actually is with Uintah. The Dons had a jump ball earlier in the quarter. Oh, that was just a bad inbound pass. There you got Bridger Knowles doing the around behind the back. Whatever centers do move and ends up getting an N1.
Coast to coast, Bridger Knowles behind the back. And just like that, I mean,
Bridger Knowles and Tanner Olsen are switching offensive positions.
Yeah.
Officially. Perfect from the free throw line so far is Bridger Knowles. He now has 12.
Leads now up to 20 for Spanish Fork. We're just in the first or second quarter here with 4:50 to go.
Yeah. With it, the Utes. Kyler Lawson into the paint, puts one up, way off, and the rebound to the Dons. Knowles on the point, left side, Sage Olsen, Tanner Olsen. Dons working it back out. Duvall in hard and scores. Parker Duvall with his first bucket of the game.
And for Spanish Fork, now everybody's starting to get in the scoring action, and usually when that happens, when you have a bounce attack, everybody plays harder on defense.
Yeah. This team, this Uintah team, is just so undersized. I feel, you feel bad for a group that can't. There's very little to go to underneath.
And last week we saw a team that was very tall in length for high school basketball in Salem Hills. It's just going to be hard to see somebody like Uintah play Salem Hills because that'll even be a bigger mismatch.
Plus, give credit where Salem Hills is concerned. They've got not only size, but they've got quickness. They've got a lot of things that make up what could be a region and state champion challenging team. The second one missed. by Caden Watkins. The Dons with a 19-point edge. Or, excuse me, 21.
They're looking to get Knowles up here at the top of the key.
They got it to him. He works it back out to Sage Olsen. Shot up. No rebound.
The center,
Tanner
Olsen.
Yeah. Three ball by him. Air ball way off the leg of Uintah, but they'll give it back to Spanish, or to the Utes anyway. I thought it was off Uintah's leg from my angle. But
Well, we had a pretty good angle at it from up here, and I'm not going to disagree. Nonetheless, when you got a 21-point lead, you're not going to complain too much about the officials.
Dons have committed just 3 team fouls, 8 against Uintah, so the Dons will be at the charity stripe from here until the half. Timothy up top. Goes left side to Kyler Lawson, and there's a Don foul against Tanner Olsen.
Tanner Olsen's been playing extremely hard here in the second quarter, trying to get another steal there, and just unfortunately mistimes it.
He has 5 points here in the quarter.
And his 2 baskets were underneath.
Yeah. Working, not a lot happening until right there. Tanner Olsen puts it up. Rebound, Bridger Knowles. He goes up and misses, gets a rebound, he's fouled. They'll go to line for 2.
He has to get fouled 3 times.
If he would just make it the first time, he wouldn't have to go through all that excruciating blows offered by the Utes as they attack him underneath.
Yeah, Bridger Knowles is taking some shots for sure underneath.
2 for him here. Knocks down number 1. Still perfect. 7 in a row. Only 13 points and only 3 baskets to show for it.
And that was Brett Christensen's second foul, and so they're going to put him back on the bench.
Yeah. Missed the shot there, so the first miss by Bridger Knowles. 2.5 remaining here in the first half. 34-12, Spanish Fork with the lead.
Yeah, for Spanish Fork, just keep playing hard. This is kind of what I expected. For Uintah, though, you hope they can find somebody that gets hot for them to try and make this a ball game.
Ball knocked away, goes back to the Utes. Expect to see a lot of different faces on both sides of the ball here in this contest. So forgive us if we're not perfect with names. We're going to do our best. It's going to be a foul underneath by the Dons. Number 1, Adam Scott. No. Going to be against Knowles? No, it's going to be on Duval. 0 for 2 on that one.
Good defense once again, though.
Yeah. Duval. Knowles. Ugh.
Oh, Knowles got caught in the air.
Foster. No. Rebound to the Dons. Knowles. To the right. Fouled. The bucket goes. Bridger Knowles.
That's the second time Bridger Knowles has gone coast to coast. He's shown that for a big guy, he still can handle the ball.
Into the ball game for the Dons, Hunter Nielsen. He'll take the place of Tanner Olsen. He's had a nice second quarter. He'll probably get a break till the end.
And I wonder how much they're going to play Knowles and Congdon in the second half, because you don't want an injury to ruin your playoff chances. And
believe me, I mean, this Uintah team, they're not being gentle on the Dons by any means.
They are. They've had a lot of frustration in this season, and they take it out when they foul.
Yeah.
Knowles has been hit extremely hard multiple times.
Alex Foster underneath, no go. Rebound to the Dons. Congdon, or excuse me, Swentz, who do we got? Hunter Nielsen with the bucket.
Yeah. Nice floater that time by Nielsen.
27-point Dons lead. Foster, ball knocked away, rebound. Excuse me, getting the ball back is the Utes, under a minute to go. Yeah. Foster kicks it back out. Shot up, no good. Rebound to the Dons, yes. And Congdon gets it to Knowles. He'll go to the rack, put it up, good.
Uintah has fouled so much that when Duvall on that possession before tried to get a rebound, he did it with one arm because he's got somebody else holding on the other one, and Uintah's just played so rough that it's cost the officials kind of to put their whistles up.
Knowles to Duvall. Lost it, back to the Utes.
Oh.
Bridger Knowles with 18 points already for the Dons.
He averages 20 a game in the season. He's nearly gotten that. But
you're probably not going to see a lot of him in the second half either.
Great production by Spanish Fork.
Oh,
41.
Alex Foster stepped on the ball, and the ball will go back to the Dons.
Hopefully he's all right, because that's not good on anybody's ankle.
No. Aaron Scott will inbound. 2-1, Congdon 3. Short. That will end the first half. The Dons, with a 29-point lead, will be back in just a moment.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
Come to Dickerson Automotive for all your car repair and maintenance needs. Now is a great time to make sure your car is ready for these cold winter months. We take the time to get to know you and your car to give you peace of mind. Dickerson Automotive, located way north on Main in Spanish Fork.
After our little halftime show with the cheerleaders, we'll take a quick break and be back A little bit of a summary of that first half in just a moment. Hang tight.
Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Well, I love it.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Well, I love it.
That's why we're there with renter's insurance when things go wrong, but also here with a rewards credit card.
Call State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Christiansen, and Wise.
Chris, got a little break in the action as far as halftime activity is concerned, so let's discuss a couple things. Number one, if we could bring back the keys to the game, see how the Dons are doing on this.
Yeah, they're doing quite well. I think the first one we had there was not play down to the opponent, and they haven't done that. Sometimes you see some of these teams that are a little better than others play down to that level, and they haven't done that at all.
When you have a 29-point lead, going into the half, you have a tendency to potentially lose a focus on playing down to the opponent. Hopefully the Dons won't do that. You know, obviously this is a frustrated Uintah team. Their biggest scorer in the game and their biggest kid that could be on the floor, Hunter Sevier, is 6'10" senior. Nowhere to be found in this gymnasium. For what reasons, I do not know. But the Dons are showing every one of these keys as being a portion to their success. Number one, they are dominating the rebounds, and then the additional points from other players on the team. The Dons are starting to dig into bench points a little bit. Parker Swenson, Parker Duvall, guys that we don't usually see scoring. Hunter Nielsen, Bryler Jensen, etc., etc. Those are guys that Dons we're going to see more and more as bench points as we get further and further into this contest. So I think it'll be interesting, Chris, to see what the Dons do. You're not going to see as much Bridger Knowles. He's already got 18 points. Brandon Congdon has 8, and Congdon got all of those in the first quarter. Who are you looking for in the second half as being the guy to watch if you're looking at the Dons going forward in this contest?
I imagine we'll see a lot of Sage and Tanner Olsen. It'll be, and I think those two have, they put in a lot of points for the Dons as well, and also it's interesting to see if anybody else steps up. Bryler Jensen, he's scored had a couple games where he scored a decent amount of points as well. So it's a good opportunity for some other guys to step up, assuming that Coach Kunzler decides to play conservative and put some of his top scorers on the bench.
Looking at the scores from the first half for Uintah, Caden Watkins had 4 points. He's a 6-footer. Max Catton had a 3-pointer. He's at 6'2". Logan Timothy's at 6'3". He's a junior. He had a 3-pointer. Jackson Giles at 6'3" is their other scorer. They don't have the size Spanish Fork has, not near it. And it'll be interesting to see how this Dons team, whether they go away from the big guys a little bit. The Dons have some guys on the bench that they could bring in that are pretty decent size, but so far Bridger Knowles has just been the dominant player by far, and it'll be interesting to see how that turns out in the second half as they weed him out a little bit to avoid injury, obviously, and when the game's out of control, what do you need?
And Bridger Knowles has shown that he's just not a back-to-the-basket type of guy. He took the ball coast to coast a few times and scored on a couple of plays where he went the full length, and maybe that's partly due to some of the bad turnovers that Uintah had.
Just for a moment, and I'm not doing this to try to get a bunch of stuff out of the way, but let's get a couple of these out of the way. We could bring up our sponsors for tonight's game. Obviously, are Tony Basso, Dickerson Automotive, State Farm Insurance with Lance Wilson, Triple T Heating, Cologne Plumbing, Raquel Christiansen and Wise Attorneys at Law, 2 Jacks Pizza, and MVP Sports. Lance Wilson, State Farm Insurance, is located at 220 North Main in Spanish Fork. 798-9288 is the number we can reach him. Or go online at lancewilsoninsurance.com. He offers auto, home, property, life, health, banking products, annuities, and mutual funds. The reason I'm trying to get some of these out of the way right now, Chris, is for the fact that I don't see a whole lot of stoppage in the second half.
Not a lot of timeouts.
No.
Should be a quick second half. And also, remember to like us on Instagram, Facebook, and you can follow the YouTube channel.
That's right. YouTube.com/Spanish Fork 17. You can watch these games live. Maple Mountain games. You stay tuned. And subscribe to Utah.com or YouTube.com/Spanish Fork 17. You receive notifications when there are live events. If you're a subscriber, so do so. Two Jacks Pizza is located at 30 North Main here in Spanish Fork. 798-8601. These are all 801 area codes, by the way. You can go online at 2jackpizza.com to check out their menu. Call them up. They'll deliver. Best pizza you're going to have in town. Terrific. Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing at 1550 North Main in Spanish Fork. 798-7711. You can go to triple-T-heating.com. And obviously, they take care of your heating. Who needs heating with the weather the way it's been? Who needs heating?
But you need to get your ACs checked now, because I'm sure about March it's going to be 100 degrees the way things are going.
That by then will be under 3 feet of snow.
Either way.
And we'll discuss the rest of our sponsors as we go on. Hopefully we'll catch a time out here or there. But again, thanks for joining us as we get set for half number 2. Just a few seconds left. We're watching the Dons with their biggest victory of their biggest lead they've had, obviously in region play, and quite potentially will have for the rest of the season. At 29 points in the first half is the lead for the Dons. Ball in play. Tanner Olson with it. Dons bringing out the same starting 5 they began the game with. Kicked ball. Possession will stay with Spanish Fork.
And for Spanish Fork, they have all their starters on the floor. Interesting to see how long they'll stay out.
Yeah. Ryan Kunzler probably will be picking some of these guys out of here soon as Brandon Congdon
nice,
on the board.
I was going to say, nice backdoor basket that time as Congdon ran the floor well.
He's now in double figures with 10. Christensen underneath. Brett Christensen, the leading scorer for Uintah on the season, is yet to put one in this contest.
Their leading scorer has 4 points, I believe, for Uintah, and that's Caden Hutchinson.
Shot up, missed, rebound to the Dons. That one missed by Matt Mattinson. And here's Congdon.
Now this has got to be so demoralizing for Uintah. It's a 3-hour drive home after this game.
You know, and that's what makes it even that more difficult and frustrating is that you come 3 hours here, you go 3 hours. I think they're home probably around midnight. And next week you turn around and do it again.
And
when you're struggling like this, it's just the season sometimes can't get over quick enough.
Well, I can see a team doing that once or twice during the season, but every region week they've got to come down to Utah County.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's their fault for living out there.
I guess so, or we need to change how we do some of these high school sports scenes.
Congdon. Yes, sir. So Brandon Congdon now with 12, and the Dons lead by 33. There's another steal by Tanner Olson. He's got to have 3 or 4 by now.
Yeah, he does.
Knowles works it back out. Olson has it. Little mess underneath there.
Yeah, mess, but Spanish Fork comes away with it. And wow, Knowles is just getting harassed every time he touches the ball. You could call a foul.
Yeah, pretty much so.
Uintah had a lot of team fouls in that first half.
Brandon Congdon with 7 in the quarter, and he now has 15.
And the Dons have finally quadrupled the score of the Utes.
Wow. That's frustrating. Alex Foster. Yes.
Yes.
Paint points. Few and far between for the Utes, but they got a pair there. Congdon. He's fouled. No.
I would say he traveled.
Okay. I'm not going to complain. Into the contest, Logan Peterson will take the place of Matt Mattinson. Some things just seem obvious, but even when they're whistled the other way, you don't really whine about.
Especially when there's a 34-point lead, there's obviously a disparity in talent in this game.
Foster to the base. Outside 3 ball by Watkins. No good. Rebound Knowles.
If you're Uintah, you hope that you can get a few baskets here if you're their coaching staff and some of the family members that traveled there, just to give them a little bit of confidence.
Congdon, no. Rebound to the Utes. Kyler Lawson. Foul by Knowles. So here we are, 3 minutes, few seconds into the third quarter. To bring Sage Olsen in.
It's been a low-scoring quarter compared to the first two for the Dons, where they got up and...
Caden Watkins now with 6.
Wow.
32nd by the Dons.
Yeah, call 30-second timeout. Regroup. Spanish Fork, those last few possessions just have looked out of sync. Yeah. But I don't know. I'd probably still just let it go on unless you're trying to get some of your starters out of the game. Anytime you're tripling the team up.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, I'm just dumbfounded right now. Anyway, Dickerson Automotive, they're located way up north on Main Street, 1900 North to be exact. Here in Spanish Fork, 794-9385. You can go to dickersonauto.com. But they have the finest repairs with personal care. You can talk to Todd or Zach and get your car running properly at Dickerson Automotive. I want to thank them as well as our other sponsors. Sage Olsen going low this time after an attempted pass over the top that doesn't work, and Knowles now with 20.
Yeah, Knowles gets the basket. He's fouled, no call, but soon the faster we all get out of here, the better for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, that's the sad thing. I'm trying not to say anything that would be negative to her.
Oh, jeez.
Calm down, Parker. Gee whiz.
Jeez.
Parker Duvall got a little aggressive there.
You like to see that in players, but you don't want to see anybody get hurt.
No.
Parker, cooler heads prevail there. I thought we were going to have a fight there for a second. You'd have to go break that up, Alan.
I'm all right. Right up here in the crow's nest. Nice, safe, and warm. You went with it, 3:46 remaining, but you think about it too, Chris. I mean, it's like you said, you'd think for all involved, Uintah would like to end the game sooner, just maybe we'll get home a little earlier than, you feel for them. Nice shot, Alex Foster.
He's up to 4 now in this quarter.
So a bucket for him.
Mid-range jumper, and Uintah's pressing.
Knowles fouled. He'll go to line for 2. That was a little too obvious for a no call.
Yeah, and credit Knowles because he's taking a beating, but he just keeps putting those shots right back up. He's going to need some icy hot after this game.
See Shaquille O'Neal. So 2 shots here for Bridger Knowles. Knocks down the first. He's only missed 1 tonight. He's 9 of 10.
That's huge because he struggled at times from behind the line. And the curse exists.
Yeah, the curse, the jinx applies under the circumstances. Uintah with the ball. With it, Logan Timothy going left side. Kyler Murray. Murray to the base. Left-hander goes. And a foul. That one on Brandon Congdon. So, Uintah, their highest point total in a quarter in this contest, now with 8.
I've nearly doubled their amount of points in this ball game in this quarter alone.
Yeah. The one free throw coming for Kyler Murray. Got it. The Dons bring into the contest Aaron Scott, along with Parker Swenson. Right side, Congdon goes to the rack, fouled. He'll go to the line for 2.
Wow, and the one thing Uintah's done great tonight has been be physical.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? It could result, I mean, it's not going to result in games won. I think we've discovered that at this point. But free throw good there. But if nothing else, you're showing your opponent that you're there.
Yeah.
You know, and that can play into a team's psyche and make it, you know, some of these games more, you know, you get a team that's shooting free throws poorly, you might end up actually finding yourself in a contest you could win.
Especially if you get hot in those games.
Yeah.
Plus, as undersized as they are, you got to be a little physical to get some of those boards and create difficult shots.
Bucket good. Logan at Timothy on the bucket. He's got 5. Wide open to Sage Olsen in the corner left.
And they don't find him. He's been there.
Keep it low. Go to Bridger Knowles. 23 for him. Time to make that big shift off the bench. It's got to be coming up here pretty quick for the Dons. Probably the entire fourth.
Now, the one thing the Dons do have is they have an entire week off before they're back here on Channel 17 against Payson.
Yeah.
So,
and that being a Payson game, I want to see people here, please.
Yeah, when Maple Mountain was at Payson earlier this season, there was a lot of people at Payson's gym.
Dons can't get a rebound, but finally a foul will be committed by Bridger Knowles, and it'll be a 2-shot foul as Jackson Giles. I don't know if it's just kind of a courtesy offered by the official.
That was a foul on Giles, and it looked like the foul was down, and we got another timeout.
Full timeout this time, so that'll give us a moment to mention a couple more sponsors. Mikkel Christiansen and Wise, attorneys at law, are located at 642 Caribbean Lane, our only sponsor not located on Main Street. Number 105 is the suite number there. 801-798-9000. You can visit their website, UtahLegalTeam.com. They take care of personal injury, accidents, low-cost bankruptcy, family, and criminal law. Visit our friends at Mikkel Christiansen and Wise. So now we've got everybody out of the way as far as our job is concerned. As far as sponsorship mentions, we'll try to get more as the game goes on. You know, double them up a little bit. Remember, you can live stream these games on youtube.com/SpanishFort17 or like us on Facebook and Instagram at SpanishFort17. 32-point lead for the Dons. 2 shots coming for Jackson Giles.
Knowles and Congdon still on the floor.
Well, they both met their season averages, right?
They have.
Free throw, good. For Giles, he has 3. 12-point quarter for Uintah. Free throw up, free throw in.
Nice form free throws by Giles there, and they cuts the lead to 30. Uintah's extended that defense up a little bit here.
Knowles to Sage Olson, back to Congdon. Right hand floater, no good. And we got a foul as Bridger Knowles
seems to be having a lot of fun, pretty relaxed out there tonight.
Yeah, I mean, in that Lehigh game where the Dons lost by 12, he had 37. If he stayed in this game, I would say his point total would probably approach that also. But I don't expect that to happen as he misses. Free throw.
Parker Duvall's there on the far side of your screen. He's bleeding a little bit, so they're going to get that fixed up.
And in doing so, bring in Hunter Nielsen. Free throw miss, so he'll have to...
And give the Dons credit because they're going full court press here still, and this game's pretty much in hand at this point.
3-ball miss, rebound. Knowles. He gives it up to Aaron Scott across the midcourt line left. Underneath, Knowles. Back outside, Sage Olson goes to the base. Shot up, no rebound to the Dons. Ball picked off. And here come the Utes. Max Catton gets it up to Logan Peterson. Kyler Lawson with it right. Looking underneath to Jackson Giles. 3-ball on its way. Long rebound, Aaron Scott. Under 25 to go, and a nice job. The ball knocked out of bounds. Nice hustle by Kyler Lawson to knock that one away, and here come the bench.
And Kyler Lawson fully extends for that ball. That's looks like he plays maybe a little bit of cornerback, and he's, unfortunately, his side hurts, and he's coming out of the game himself.
Yeah. Colton McMillan in for the Dons.
They list him at 6'8", the junior.
Big kid out there, fouled, and going to the line will be Sage Olson. Oh, Sergeant Sage Olson with the foul. Oh. All right, into the game, Andrew Radford for Uintah. So the Utes with the ball. Catton to Radford. Back to Max Catton. 3-ball on its way. Got it! And then Logan Peterson 3 will beat the buzzer. So the Dons actually their lead chewed into just a touch here in the third quarter. We'll be right back.
Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Well, I love it.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Well, I love it.
That's why we're there with renter's insurance when things go wrong, but also here with a rewards credit card.
Call State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Christiansen, and Wise.
We are back for the fourth quarter here at La Hacienda, Spanish Fork High School. As the Dons with a 55-28 lead.
They were leading 48-12 at one point, had quadrupled the score of Uintah, and since then Uintah's really been outplaying the Dons.
They really have, and the Dons appear to be emptying the bench slowly but surely. We'll see probably everybody on that bench play in this contest. Will make it a little more of an equal playing field as we work on through the remainder of this game.
You give the Dons credit. They jumped out to that huge lead by being very efficient on offense and then creating a lot of turnovers, so that lead wasn't by accident. Uintah wasn't shooting that well, but still. Dons deserve a lot of that credit as well.
Trying to work it inside. They do. Olsen back out. Shot no good by Parker Swenson. Here come the Utes.
Oh,
Parker
wow.
picks it off. Colton McMillan comes up with it. Gets it back out to Hunter Nielsen. Wraparound pass. 3 ball. Swenson, no. Rebound to Kyler Lawson of the Utes. And Logan Peterson will bring it across the timeline. 55-28 Dons lead. Here's, for the most part, the area has been drained out of the gym, but hey, Kyler Lawson, he's on the board with his first bucket of the game. 30-55, 25-point lead for the Dons. The Dons are outscored 16-14 in the third. And with passes like that, you're going to get outscored here in the fourth.
Yeah, Uintah had 16 out of their 28 points in the third quarter, and it's they're starting to the ball's starting to fall in the hoop for them. Where in the first half they couldn't buy a bucket unless it was a 3-pointer.
3 ball by Max Catton, no good. Rebound, Swenson. Out to Hunter Nielsen, they'll bring it across. The Dons actually bringing some of their starters back in. 3 ball, no. Rebound.
And, you know, that might just be Coach Kunzler trying to send a message that we have to, if you're on the floor, you got to play hard or you're going to come right back out.
I think doing that, the Dons are showing to be a little more forceful. Lots of travel by Sage Olsen, and look at that. Knowles, Congdon, the starting lineup back in.
We got the hockey substitution here as the starting lineup comes back in.
The entire group.
Our game's at 25 points. I guess you don't want to risk Uintah getting hot and cutting it down even further.
So the Dons with the aggressive group back out there and well knocked away. It'll go back to the Utes as Tanner Olsen still showing that effort. How do you not even have the band here tonight? There's something going on elsewhere?
That I don't know. I haven't seen them. I haven't been to very many home games, but I haven't seen the band all year.
Yeah, they were here in full force against Summit Academy.
An offensive foul here.
At this point, I've quit acknowledging fouls existing. But each team now with 4 with 5 minutes left. Is that one committed by Max Catton.
It's just his first foul. Nobody in real trouble of fouling out at this point.
Bridger, back left side, 3 ball on the way by Tanner Olsen. No, rebound to the Utes. Olsen on the steal. Tanner Olsen was 7, and the Dons back to a 27-point lead.
Crafty defense by Olsen that time as he plays like he's going back and then just steals the ball. Nice way to get 2 points.
Oh. Ball knocked away. Parker Duvall with it. I was talking to Coach Kunzler before the game as I was coming up the stairs. And I said, Coach, we don't win tonight. I'm done calling games. He goes, I'll quit right along with you.
It was almost retirement night.
Yeah. Brandon Congdon now with 19 for the Dons. You just said, Chris, both he and Knowles around 20. The Dons are pretty sure winners. Knowles.
And if they're not winning, they're definitely in the ball game. I think the key for the Dons is they've got to have somebody step up, whether it's Sage or Tanner Olsen. Somebody become that third scorer that can get him another, 10, 12 points a game.
Outside shooting, really, for the Dons tonight has been pretty bad. That pass picked off. There's Christensen finally on the board. Brett Christensen, the leading scorer, for who's out there for the Utes. First bucket of the night.
I think we've identified who his family is because they're sitting right next to us as well.
Right.
Yeah. Credit Uintah, though, they were really down in this ballgame, and they've made a little bit of a run here, which has forced Kunzler to bring back these starters. So
they're still trying, and give him credit. Bucket by Logan Peterson. He has 5.
You see some of those scores where it's like 100-12, and you're like, Jesus, this is going to be one of those games that you see in the paper, and it hasn't. And it's not close, but at least it's been a lot more competitive in this second half.
Congdon, no, rebound, Uintah. Catton fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2 after the foul committed by Bryler Jensen.
Digging the hair out there by Bryler Jensen, and Max Caton, who's shooting this free throw, because they make the all-hair team in region for sure. I wish I could wear it to work. I don't think they'd like it too much.
I think for sure Catton's on the all-hair team.
Reminds me of the 90s when we used to bleach those tips.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't, but I did.
I did not.
Smarter than I was.
Well, I used to shave my head. 3 ball good. That'll be Bryler Jensen's first 3 of the game, and outside of Brandon Congdon, the Dons' first 3 of the game. Timeout on the floor. It's a full time out. Now, Chris, coming up, obviously, Payson's at home next week. 13th, or excuse me, the 19th.
19th, it's the 12th.
And then the Dons visit Mountain View on the 23rd. Then we have Orem at home again. We're going to take care of both of those home games. Coming up, Payson will be a tough opponent. Mountain View, they're not so great this year, but, you know, every game that has to be played, you never know what'll happen. But Orem, they're a team to watch, for sure. And they're tough.
And the one thing to keep in mind for Spanish Fork is they're 0-2 in region play thus far. They'll go to 1-2 after tonight. That game against Payson's huge because both of those teams are going to be kind of fighting for that
for the
playoff.
4. Yeah.
I think Salem Hills is definitely a playoff team based on
between Orem and Salem, probably looking at 1 and 2, and then I would guess you got to favor Lehigh right now as a 3. But then beyond that, Payson, Spanish Fork are the 2 teams that are going to be vying for that final spot.
Mountain View currently in that 4th spot with a 1-1 record, so they could also be in position as well.
Mountain View's win was, I believe, a 8-point win against this Uintah team.
Yeah. Should be a game that both Payson and Spanish Fork should win on paper, but games aren't played on paper.
Foul on Bridger Knowles. 2 shots coming for Brett Christensen. I mean, you got to get Knowles out of there at this point, right?
You don't want somebody to come down on a foot or...
Well, I mean, forgive my observation, but Uintah has not exactly been patsy tonight as far as committing fouls is concerned and being rough.
They definitely follow the old wisdom, no blood, no foul.
64-36. Ask Parker Duvall, right? All right, the Dons with some unfamiliar, less than familiar faces. Knowles, no bucket, but he's fouled. A little line for a pair. Trey Lofton into the game for Spanish Fork. The Dons haven't dug extremely deep, and I don't know how many people they've decided to have suit up for tonight's game.
I assume they've all played. I've seen some faces that we hadn't seen before.
Colton McMillan being one.
Yeah.
Knowles now at 26. 27. Back to a 30-point edge at 66-36. Offensive production has slowed down for the Dons here in the second half.
Yeah, they were firing on all cylinders in that first half. I think a lot of it had to do with playing great defense and then getting into easy transition buckets. We haven't seen a lot of that in the second half.
At some point where you get it across the timeline, start wearing out clock, but it's not right now. Aaron Scott, his first bucket.
It's good to see him get on the board.
Played quite a few minutes tonight. Hasn't had many shots. 3-ball good. Nicer. Deep shot by Caden Watkins. He has 9 to lead the Utes.
I believe 8 Dons have scored tonight. Or can I not count?
Yeah, you're right. 2 more coming for Bridger Knowles.
And that's the 5th foul on Brett Christensen.
Yep, so he's done.
Quiet night for him.
Just 4.
Well below his season average of 10.
Soon he had 3. First one good for Bridger. 28 for him. A new face out there. Tay Newman into the ball game for the Dons. Free throw, no. Rebound to the Dons. Trying to get it back out. Ball knocked away, and here come the Utes. Foul and a bucket. Matt Mattinson on the board.
And that was a 1-on-4 break, and Mattinson parts the white C that time and still gets a bucket.
It's nice to see, though. I mean, he's showing excitement out there. He gets hacked. Loud slap, foul, bucket goes, and you can tell he's got that energy. He's happy to be out there and still competing this late in the game where things have not exactly gone your way.
Yeah, if you're Uintah, you want to burn that first half tape and probably just focus on the second half.
Yeah.
The Dons played incredible basketball in the first half, and that really is what propelled them to this big lead.
Hunter Nielsen accused of kicking.
Knowles checks out.
Bridger Knowles gone. As T. Newman has come in along with Trey Lofton. Get a bump and a foul by Aaron Scott, and we got 1-and-1 coming up for Uintah. So, I mean, as this game continues to tick, it's not going to look as bad as it was, but that's a good thing. I mean, that's a better taste in the mouth of Uintah as they head home.
Yeah, absolutely.
That lonely highway back to Vernal. Free throw number 1 drops for Caden Watkins. And I'll tell you, that's got to be a difficult thing. I mean, we talked about it, but you know, you're a big enough school that you have to participate on this level of play as opposed to playing against teams like Duchesne and Union and
some of their
Emory and teams that are a lot closer.
Some of those traditional rivals for them too.
And it's just kind of the nature of the beast, I guess. They've had to have gotten used to it by now. I mean, at least some of them.
Yeah, they've been doing this for 5 or 6 years now, haven't they? Or it's been even maybe longer than that. It's kind of weird when they started this, probably, let's say, about 8 years ago.
Yeah. And, you know, I mean, it was back in back when it was a Region 10 where the Dons and Utes had, I believe it was Carbon was in the region at the time, Wasatch was in the region at the time, so it was a little bit of a better thing for Uintah at that point, but now Wasatch and the basketball level is out of here.
It's interesting. They switched the regions up for football and basketball based on who wants to move up in football. Lehigh chose to go 5A in football. Did quite well, might add.
Yeah, absolutely.
With
a big fat state championship.
But now they dropped to 4A for basketball.
It makes sense in a lot of ways.
I think it was to get teams like Lehigh and East up to those higher divisions in football where they were just dominating.
Out of bounds. I mean, it seems like every year, regardless of what you have going on, you have dominance in certain sports, but football seemingly more so than in others. Easy bucket for Trey Lofton, and that's going to probably be the end.
Yeah, Trey Lofton won't get a basket that easy the rest of his life.
No bucket, game over. 71-46, 25-point win for the Dons. And we'll take a quick break and be right back in the game summary after this.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
Come to Dickerson Automotive for all your car repair and maintenance needs. Now is a great time to make sure your car is ready for these cold winter months. We take the time to get to know you and your car to give you peace of mind. Dickerson Automotive, located way north on Main in Spanish Fork.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Well, I love it.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Well, I love it.
That's why we're there with renter's insurance when things go wrong, but also here with a rewards credit card.
Call State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Christiansen, and Wise.
Had a quick break there and got most of those sponsors covered in that little commercial break. Again, let's thank them, obviously, in this 71-46 victory with the Dons. We want to thank Tony Basso Auto Group, along with our other sponsors, Dickerson Automotive, Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance, McKell Christiansen Wise, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Two Jacks Pizza, and our sponsor for tonight's MVP of the game, MVP Sports. Now, Chris, Brandon Congdon had a pretty good game tonight. Ended up
19.
Concluding the game with 19 points. It was kind of weird. He scored a lot in the first, didn't score in the second, scored a lot in the third. Only a bucket in the fourth.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, the way he played, he was smooth. He got the game rolling with a couple of three-pointers, and that was really what kind of got this game kicked off.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention, is he started the game off right with a couple of huge three-pointers, and there was no question when that ball released from his hand that they were going to go in.
Spanish Fork now with a 1-2 record. However, Chris, a bit of the bitter taste of defeat removed from Uintah because they outscored the Dons in the second half by a margin of 34-30. How about that?
I credit Uintah. They fell down big time at the half, and they just fought back into this ball game. Well, not back into it, but made it look a lot closer than it was going to be, than it could have been, I guess.
Yeah, the Dons at one point had, I believe, 36-point lead at one point.
It was 48-12 at one point.
Yeah, so that would have been 36-point lead, and after that, Uintah just said, you know what, we're gonna be here. We're gonna leave you with a couple of sores for one. But we're going to play a little bit harder, and they did, and give them a lot of credit. And, you want to see a team like that, enjoy a little bit of success, even in a beat-down game like it was tonight. And they got to experience a taste of that with that play in the second half. Like you said, they want to burn the first half tapes and focus on the second.
Yeah, and see what they can do to improve on. And Spanish Fork, though, they came out with that press defense, and I think that set the tone and really disoriented Uintah's offense.
And they stuck with it still, but Uintah was able to attack a little bit more, and they were able to beat the Dons down the floor a couple times, which they found a little bit of success with. They did not have a... Oh, wait a minute. They did have a player in double figures. That's Caden Watkins. Led the way for the Utes with 10 points. So congratulations to him. But this is a team that's depleted. Their leading scorer on the season and their tallest player at 6'10". Obviously a force to be reckoned with in their lineup. Hunter Sevier, he's been out for 2 games. I hope not, for not too long for this team. It's got to be discouraging, but, with him on the floor, it changed the dynamic. Probably not the result, but the dynamic, certainly.
Yeah. So up next, we got Spanish Fork here at the La Hacienda again.
Yes.
Playing the Payson Lions. So that ought to be a very physical game, intense rivalry. Need a great environment here at the La Hacienda of Spanish Fork.
I'll tell you what.
Win that game.
Absolutely. It'll be a home game, and if this gym isn't full, I don't know what I'm going to do with these parents of these kids. Get them here. Make them come. Let's get some. Even the parents get out here, even if you don't have a kid playing. If you remember the community, if you have any school pride, show up. Jeez. Spanish Fork needs that support, especially against the Payson Lions team who none of us like, period. Right, Chris?
I don't mind them, but I didn't grow up in Spanish Fork.
Yeah, well, I did.
Huge rivalry back in the day, and it'll come to fruition one more time next Friday.
You bet. You bet. We're still angry. Payson has owned Spanish Fork for far too long. No longer. Okay, the Dons will be taking on that Lion team Friday night. Nevertheless, we want to thank you for joining us at La Hacienda. The Spanish Fork Dons with a 71-46 victory over the Runnin' Utes of Uintah. I'm Alan Huff along with Chris Hurst. We thank you for joining us. And until next time, adios from La Hacienda.